For decades, Northeast India was viewed from the mainland through this tiny lens of conflict. Physically separated by the Chicken's Neck corridor, but mentally it was like a psychological island. It was defined by security dilemmas, insurgency, and a deep suspicion towards New Delhi. Now imagine the BJP, a party rooted in the Hindi heartland, often seen as this rigid, vegetarian and Hindu. So on paper at least, the BJP should have been impossible to sell itself in a region that is described by distinct tribal identities, Christian majorities and meat-eating cultures. But something changed, and in just 10 years the BJP has successfully morphed itself from this political outcast into this political dominant hegemon in this region. And they haven't done this just by resource mobilization and political arithmetics. It has been calculated intermingling and a sophisticated new age branding strategy. A strategy that hinges on the co-option and elevation of a new breed of tribal leadership, which is typified by Nagaland's Temjen Imna along. Someone who bridges this cultural gap through digital soft power, humor, and a pragmatic decoupling from the hardline Hindutva ideology. The BJP didn't just win votes, they engineered this rainbow coalition that we now know as the NEDA. But how? By elevating this new brand of leadership and by mixing the hard power of infrastructure with the soft power of branding and digital technology. Today, we are telling a story of the saffron rainbow and its newest superstar, a man who taught India to laugh at racism, Temjen Imna along. Let's get started. Born on the 25th of November 1980 in Mokokchung, Nagaland, Temjen isn't your typical politician. He wasn't groomed in the RSS shakhas of Nagpur. He was a businessman. He was a digital native. And most critically, he was a master of social media branding. Temjen completed his pre-university education in commerce at the City College of Arts and Commerce, Dimapur in 1999. And he joined the BJP in 2011. A period when the party was actually a marginal player in Nagaland. So his rise was meteoric, that reflected that the party was desperately searching for a viable local face. By 2015, he was a state executive member. By 2017, he chaired the Finance and Development Committee. His electoral debut in March 2018 was a landmark moment as he won the Along Taki constituency, and he was immediately inducted into the cabinet as a Minister of Higher Education. Later on, he was appointed as the state president of the BJP in January 2020, a post that he had held until September 2023. But the moment that changed everything happened in the year 2022. You see, people from Northeast have been facing these racial slurs and taunts for their facial features throughout the different cities of the country, including the national capital. So how do you think a normal politician would have reacted here? He would have given an angry speech, right? Maybe he would have called a press conference, shouted slogans. But how did Temjen react to such an incident? He cracked a joke.
हमारी आँख भी छोटा है, मगर देखने में बहुत अच्छे तरह से देख सकता हूँ. छोटे आँख होने से एक फायदा है, गंदगी कम घुसते हैं और बहुत कभी-कभार मंच में बैठे हुए लंबा जब कार्यक्रम चलते हैं, हमने एक तरीका से सो भी जाते हैं.
So this was a branding masterclass. By using and weaponizing humor against racism, he suddenly changed the image of BJP from this angry nationalist party to this cool, relatable thing. I mean, he even rebranded Prime Minister Modi. Look at this photo. He calls Modi his guru. So he's humanizing this high command and turning this relationship of dominance into one of warmth and laughter. But we must understand that Temjen isn't a happy accident. It's a result of a careful and meticulously crafted strategy. Analysts call this the exempted from Hindutva strategy. You see, perhaps the most complex aspect of Along's utility to the BJP is his ability to navigate the religious landscape of Nagaland, a state with a 90% Christian population. The BJP is frequently characterized by opponents as this anti-Christian or a Hindu party. So Along counters this not with his theology, but with a statistical assertion and identity politics. In various interviews, he has stated that 99.9% of the BJP Karyakartas in Nagaland are Christians. So by claiming the party cadre as Christians, he indigenizes the organization. He argues that the BJP's national leadership supports secularism in the Northeast and that the party is a vehicle for development, not religious conversion. So someone like Along is a living example that you can be a devout Christian and still be a hardcore BJP loyalist. The BJP itself has understood that beef bans and rigid courts won't work in the Northeast, so they've just outsourced that part. But thankfully they've kept the development. Along creates the vibes, but others do the heavy lifting. Now take Kiran Rijiju from Arunachal Pradesh. If Along is the heart, Rijiju is the muscle. He represents the integration of the Northeast into the Indian state, focusing on the borders, security, and fighting the China threat. And then there's Hekani Jakhalu, a US-educated lawyer and social entrepreneur. She represents the startup generation, the technocratic aspirations of Naga youth who want jobs and not just jungle warfare. And this division of labor is fantastic. Rijiju takes care of the state, Jakhalu takes care of the economy, and Temjen takes care of the internet. So everything feels like this political fairy tale, right? But not. Just like every rainbow fades, this political rainbow didn't just fade, it fractured in Manipur. Between 2003 and 2025, ethnic violence erupted between the Métis and the Kukizo tribes, and the crisis exposed the fragility of the BJP's diversity narrative. She's Nemcha Kipjen. She was the only female minister in the Manipur cabinet and a BJP leader. In June 2023, a mob burned down her official residence. Just think about that. A BJP minister's house burned in a BJP ruled state. Today, 10 Kukijo MLAs, including 7 from the BJP itself, are demanding a separate administration. They are effectively at war with their own chief minister. The Along model works fine when the battle is for hearts and minds on Instagram. But when the battle is for land and survival as it is in Manipur, humor may not work. The exempted from Hindutva deal collapse under the weight of this old ethnic hatred. The story of BJP in the Northeast is one of the most significant political projects of 21st century India. They have successfully managed to bridge the psychological gap of the chicken's neck by using digital assets and smart alliances. Someone like Temjen Along has proved that a Naga leader could be a national icon and be loved in Gujarat or Mumbai as much as he is loved in Kohima. But Manipur is a grim reminder. It reminds that a saffron rainbow that is held together by central funds and internet memes is vulnerable. For the BJP, the challenge isn't winning elections now. It is to prove that this new age diversity can survive the heat of conflict. What do you think? Are leaders like Temjen Along the future of Indian politics, or are they just an odd exception? Please let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.